Welcome back, everybody. When it comes to some of the names on the ballot, many of us are left wondering, who do we pick? Let's take a look at the sources for our next story. We have the president of the Spokane County Bar Association Board of Trustees and Michael Cecil, an assistant professor at the Gonzaga School of Law. Most of the time, they're the candidates on our ballots we know the least about. Yet, judges can play a massive role in our everyday lives. And we are more likely to interact with a judge than we are a governor or a congressman. So, how do you judge the judges? Derek Dice with our sister station in Spokane has this story.
First off, what does a local Superior Court judge even do?
Public has a lot of different resources.
Darren DeJacinto, the president of the Spokane County Bar Association's Board of Trustees, says judges deal with disputes between people and they have a lot of authority.
The judges at the Superior Court level are given general authority to preside over both civil and criminal matters, over juvenile matters, things that it could be anything between a business dispute to a dissolution or a divorce, to a criminal accusation.
Michael Cecil, an assistant professor at the Gonzaga School of Law, says judges are like referees. After hearing arguments from both sides, they make a ruling within certain guidelines.
But there always is that element of personal investigation and evaluation of one's character, the veracity of their kind of remorse over a particular crime, and how much sentence should be given. So those kinds of decisions play an incredibly important role.
That's why every year the Spokane Bar Association puts out its judicial candidate evaluation results.
It's meant to be a resource. It's not meant to be a comprehensive deep dive for everything about every candidate.
But it's pretty thorough. More than 300 bar members responded to a third-party poll asking them to rank judicial candidates in these 5 categories: legal ability, judicial temperament, integrity, relevant legal experience, and suitability. Then, a cross-section of the bar membership
will then serve as the judicial evaluation panel for interviewing the candidate and reviewing the bar results and ultimately coming up with a determination on recommendations related to each of these candidates.
And that leads to one of 4 recommendations: exceptionally well qualified, qualified, or not qualified. These recommendations are on the Spokane County Bar Association's website right now. But can individual bias creep into these results?
Is it possible that there are attorneys out there that have opinions about the candidates? Of course it is. But that's a part of having the broad swath of feedback from all of our bar members.
Cecil says the bar evaluation results are good for voters, but
I would say it is important to make independent investigations.
He says you can do this by simply jumping online.
Looking at websites, going on YouTube, and actually looking at the interviews and listening to the interviews and hearing what the judges stand for and how they hope to uphold the rule of law and improve the judicial system.
And what about endorsements? You might see that a certain political group or a civil rights group endorses a particular candidate. DeJacinto and Cecil both say you need to dig deeper.
Can be a telling feature in evaluating, but I don't think it's an end-all be-all that answers, any of the questions in any black and white level, but it is guidance.
Those endorsements are good, are suggestive, but not conclusive in how you should vote for a candidate.
There are plenty of websites to help you learn about judicial candidates, but the bottom line is this: if you want to make an educated choice on judges this November, you'll need to do your own research.
Please investigate the veracity and the temperament and the character of the judges that are running for office, and make a decision based on your own conscience. I think that's the most important thing as a voter in democracy.
That was Derek Dice reporting. We will have more on judges coming up in around November when we get much closer to the election.